book my flight.
Book my
I
flight.
said, okay, I'm doing it.
So you're going to be gone like what, 2 months, right?
Almost 70 days, yeah.
70 days. And there's a long run, 20th March to about 13th April.
Yeah, I think those are the exact
Those
dates.
are the exact dates, yeah. That's great. So it must be exciting going back to your roots. However, you're doing stuff here as well.
Yeah.
And there was talk about a Farat Ishtiyaq play that you were doing, and you're shooting for that these days?
It's done. It's complete.
It's complete. So tell me a little bit about that.
I'm not sure what to say without giving too much away, but you know, after a very long time, you know, especially after completing Angan, I took about a year to choose a script. And I think this was a story that I think has not been told. I mean, we might say this about a lot of dramas. All actors will say it's something different, it's something original. But I think this is something that has not been seen on our screens because it's something that's aggressive in its storytelling. It's something that's, and it's not being apologetic in how it's being presented. And it's a character that I really connect with. I think it's not that I like doing dark characters. Is that I like doing characters who feel real. People who have maybe gone through a circumstance which seems almost unreal. How do I make that a reality? How do I make that something that people can relate with? So that's what prompted me to take that challenge on.
It looks like you're already in Hamlet mode.
Well, slowly, we're getting there. I mean, I think every day I spend about an hour reading the play.
Yeah.
So we're getting there.
And this next play that's going to air this year?
I think next year.
Next year. Okay, so this year is dedicated to Angan.
This year is Angan.
Next year
Hamlet.
will be Hamlet, and next year will be this other play.
Yeah.
Also, I believe with Sajal.
Yep. Yep.
Do you ever feel that there's this huge fuss around the entire Ehad Sajal relationship, and do you feel that it ever overshadows your work as an actor because people see you as a couple?
Right.
It's like Sahad. And then there's Sajal, and then there's Ehad, but there's Sahad above everything else. As an actor, does that ever bother you?
No, I don't think it bothers me. I think, first of all, it's a blessing. It's a blessing that that people enjoy our work, they enjoy seeing us together. But secondly, I think what people really admire is not just they look nice, we just love seeing them, we love them interacting. It's that I enjoy working with her, and I think that when we work, we have a good connection as actors, and I think that is actually what people are seeing on the screen. I mean, you sometimes feel like that the couple might be overshadowing, but I don't think so. I think the couple is just an extension of us as actors. I think I have my own place as an actor. She definitely has her own place. She's given so much time to the industry, and she's fantastic. But I think when we come together, people have a certain, unfortunately, an expectation, but that's okay.
But what you're saying is that in Angan, for example, when Alia, Chammi and Jameel come together on the screen, people are going to accept Jameel's relationship with Alia, if there's one. There is one, we know that because we've read the book. How is that going to pan out?
Well, I mean, we'll have to find out. I think it's exciting. I think from a fictional point of view, when you're watching something like Angan, where you're ready to see certain things happening, and then you have this one pairing that people really enjoyed. To see that kind of played with is going to be interesting to see how people react, how people kind of accept it or not. But it's a good thing. I think when people finally see the interaction between these three characters. Chammi, who's not everything as she seems. If I may be, so bold to say. Jameel, who's kind of lost in his own thoughts, who almost kind of seems like a bit of a negative character, though he's not. And Alia, it's going to be interesting seeing these three people interact when you know what's going to be happening. So I think I'm excited to see what people.
And that journey you were talking about is even if you know the end, the journey and how you get there.
I think that's what people love watching. I mean, if you even take Shakespeare, for example, we talked about it briefly. Is that why is Shakespeare still relevant?
Absolutely.
Well, Shakespeare actually will always be relevant. The stories are relevant. I mean, when you watch Romeo and Juliet has been created how many times? Ram Leela kyun dekhte hain? Aapko pata kya hoga? But you watch it for that journey. You want to see how we get there.
So, I mean, Hamlet is a dark character, and Jameel is a slightly dark character as well. So many pictures of yours come out, and at occasions you also seem like a very not, I wouldn't say dark, but very intense, brooding, very serious. Is that the real Ehad Raza Mir?
I mean,
Call
I wouldn't say yes, but I think you have to, at a certain level, relate to your character. I mean, there's some actors who I think do a very good job in completely transforming, which is, you know, you look at actors like in Hollywood, take Daniel Day-Lewis. He's not the same at all. His voice is different, his look is different. But there's some actors who know that I'm going to bring myself in this case. It's going to be me at a different address. That's how I've always treated things. And I think I bring a bit of myself. It's not it won't be real unless part of Ehad is there. So I think when people say that, you know, is there a darker side to you? Well, I mean, everybody has a darker side.
Absolutely.
So I think mine might be just a little bit more vulnerable.
Okay, that's interesting. Also, you're not very active on social media. And it seems also like with the dark side, there's also a very old school romantic under that surface. I mean, you're quiet about your relationships, you don't like to talk about them, and you're not very active on social media, you're not putting yourself out there, and yet people are like, the fans are running after you. You put up a picture and you put one word and there's like this outpour of love, and you take time out to actually respond and talk to them. So there is old school romantic down there, right?
Yeah, I'll admit it, yes. But, you know, along with that, I think, and I've said this on numerous occasions, that I think as an actor, I don't want social media to confuse me. I think my role in the industry, my role in the work I do is limited on the set. You know, is limited to me reading the script, is limited to people seeing that end result. I think maybe that old school thing you talk about is that I appreciate my fans, I love my fans, and I want them to know as much about me as I think is appropriate. But I want them to relate to that character. You know, I don't want people to see Jamil 1 second and then me posting about the coffee that I'm drinking. You know, that kind of, it breaks that
tempo.
That tempo, and that, again, I bring up this thing called the suspension of disbelief, you know? When one moment you're in 1940s, you know, India, Pakistan, you know, you're in that world, and all of a sudden you're seeing the same guy, you know, posting about whatever it might be. I don't want to take my audience out of that. I think that's unfair to them. Along with that, I think, and I might be wrong, you know, a lot of people like social media, and I think it's great. It's a great way for people to connect to their fans, which, you know, maybe didn't exist before. So I try as much as I can to respond, talk to them, post a picture when I can. It's just that I'm not
once a month.
Yeah, once
maybe
a month.
Twice.
It's just that I'm not, you know, sitting there going, you know, somebody take a picture of me, I have to post, just because I feel that this is my time right now.
And you also believe in retaining that mystique, right? That little element of, you know, there's also distance between your viewers and your fans and yourself.
I don't think in that sense, yes. If it's pictures and posting and tweeting, things like that, there is a bit of distance I keep. But when I interact with my fans, I'm not, this is who I am.
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to do anything else. I think I'm not...
and we saw a really dark side of social media when Coke Studio happened.
Yeah.
Right? And so tell me about that. I mean, did it affect you in any way? Or were you like, no, let's just not read all the critique and just let's put it past us?
No, I think I couldn't ignore it. That was the thing, you know, because it was kind of all over the place. So I couldn't ignore the fact that that people liked or didn't like the song.
They were very vocal about it.
Very vocal about it, which I was kind of happy about. Like, look, I felt that, hey, people came together to, whether it was to bash something or whatever it was. I just felt that, personally, I felt that at the end of the day, it was just a song. That was my kind of opinion on it. And whether people liked it, didn't like it, that's fair. Everybody.
And you've done musicals on stage.
Yeah, on stage.
So you do sing.
Well, sure.
But I always get this thought that would people have reacted the same way if you had done Coco Karina with Sajjal?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know what would have happened.
What would have happened? So we were talking about your different personas and who you really are, and are you the dark brooding hero or are you the romantic hero, or who really are you? But one thing is for certain, you really are Mama's boy, right?
Yeah, and I think there's nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely not.
I think, you know, I'm very close with my mother, And no matter what anybody says, she is my #1 fan, and she's been my #1 fan since day one. You know, the same way that she, you know, spreads the message of me doing this serial or doing this film or winning this award or whatever it is. She does exactly when I was in high school and doing, you know, small little theater productions. She is exact the same. You know, nothing's changed. Just as much effort. You know, just as proud as you know me winning Hum or Lux. To me being, you know, 15 years old and just doing a small production on stage, nothing has changed, you know. So I'm very close with my mother, and I think everyone should be. They should appreciate their mothers, you know. I think sometimes what happens is as we grow up, we want to be more mature, we want to be cool, we want to, whatever it might be, but at the end of the day, you are nothing without the people who have been there since the beginning.